All right, take two. Welcome to the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Hour. I had a few problems there, so I had to stop the stream, start the stream. So wait for a few people to join us. It's just after 6 p.m. in Winnipeg time on a Tuesday. Got a few notes here on some things you guys wanted to discuss. So if we get some people on board here, we can do that. All right, we got one viewer who's just joined us. It hasn't told me who yet. Matt Baker had joined as well as Larry Barr, but I was unable to communicate with them, so I restarted the stream, hoping that would help. I don't know if that has. So things I was going to chat about today, a couple other members have some YouTube channels, so I wanted to send shout outs to them. And then somebody was asking about tire fitment on our Chevy Novas. Steve, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to part 2, because part 1 didn't go so well. So, okay, I know that chat's working. Right on. Good. Victor, my friend, how are you? Victor and I are on a few Nova chats together. Just going to wait a few minutes for people to settle in, get all set up. Well, Rob, I'm doing good. You were on the message group there. I insured my Nova on the way home from work. And I know I promised you guys I was going to start it live on the show. I may have done it without you. It didn't go so well. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do it live. And I was also filming it for my YouTube show, Dave Days of Summer, which is a show. It was supposed to be like street outlaws, but it turned into like Trailer Park Boys. And it's kind of like a diary of my life in cars and my friends. So I was filming for that. So that's why I didn't wait for you guys to stream it. All right. So yeah, Victor, you're doing good. That's good. Robert and Rex, how you doing, guys? And Dwayne, how you doing, buddy? Haven't crossed paths with you in a while. Been watching your YouTube channel to see if you had some updates on your Nova. Dwayne did a really nice rear bumper delete on his Nova. So Dwayne, if you could, you might want to post a link up to that video, because I'm sure a lot of our members would be interested in seeing that. Right on. So yeah, people are slowly showing up here. So hopefully I've said hi to everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out. You know, us Canadians, all polite and sorry about everything. So like I was saying a couple seconds ago, registered the car on the way home. Got it all connected, and glad I checked things over because I had a little bit of a fuel leak. Fixed that and started it. It did not run well. It was popping through the carb. And that's also because I took the distributor on. I didn't have the timing set, so I had to find that sweet spot to keep it running so I could run out of the car. And now I finally got the timing set. I got the distributor locked. I went for a ride. Idle was a little high. Now I think I got the idle set. But I don't know because I'm here right now because it's 6 o'clock. Hey, Mark. Mark has joined us. Rob, I'm assuming you're talking about Dwayne's bumper delete? And guys, of course, chat amongst yourselves. This isn't all about me here. I want every kind of make it like a group chat kind of thing too. So if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves, that's fine too. Keep those comments coming. Got a very short agenda, so I don't even know if we have an hour's worth of video here. I guess I could improvise and babble a little. So we have a few people were talking about tire fitment. So I thought we could discuss that. And a couple of users have their own YouTube channels as well. So I wanted to give shout outs to them. And I see that Kim, she hasn't logged in yet, I don't think. She finally got to using her mother's polish and started working on her wheels. Oh, okay, yeah. Rob was referring to, he liked how Dwayne did the bumper delete on his 73, 74 Nova. So, oh, Dwayne. Yeah, he's just left the dentist. So, yeah, please don't stream and drive. I need you guys to stay safe. I don't want any accidents. I need all the few viewers I have. Oh, and he's got a new shop. So we look forward to seeing some of those videos, Dwayne. I should actually look up what your YouTube channel is. I have it saved. I don't have the name offhand, but if you want to give a shout out to your YouTube channel, please do. Or anyone else with a YouTube channel, please give a shout out. Ah, Larry's joined us again. And Johnny Davis, greetings, sir. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully all your cars are running strong. And hopefully all the snow's melted and everybody's slowly got their cars out. In Winnipeg, at least in my area, our neighborhood judges spring's arrival when my Nova hits the street. And I was just out in it about 10 minutes ago, just before the stream started. After setting up the sniper, setting the distributor and the timing and synchronizing it for the sniper to take control of the timing. And yeah. So Rob's looking for ways to do the rear. He has brackets but not shocks. I've actually heard, Rob, on 74 Novas, you can bolt the bracket to bracket minus the shock, kind of a shock delete, and that will work on a 74 Nova or Omega Ventura, but we're not talking about the corporate cousins because this is the Nova hour. The Omega hour will follow where there's no viewers. Hey, Nick. How you doing, buddy? All right, so Dwayne has just informed us to search for his YouTube channel. Just search his name. Dwayne Whitaker. I hope I'm pronouncing that right because I am so bad with slaughtering names at the drag strip. We're on like first name basis with all the racers because that's about as far as my pronunciation goes. So that's a shout out to Dwayne's channel. And looking at the time, all right, it's 6:12. So I'm going to start off giving a shout out to a couple of users who have YouTube channels. This first one, I came across it after he posted a video on the forum. It's called the Bad Luck Garage. I almost want to steal that name. But Bad Luck Garage, that is run by Tracy and Robert Bell. And I went through his playlist, watched a couple of his videos, and the ones I found really interesting was the heater control lever repair. Now, probably a lot of us at one time or another have broken one of those levers on the heater control, and they're not cheap to buy a repo, and even used ones you can get raped on. So if you want to find out how to fix those levers, Bad Luck Garage on YouTube, that's the name of the channel. He's got an excellent video on the heater control lever repair. He's also got some LS swap videos. Now, I know a couple of you guys were asking about LS related material. I'm going to talk to Rob Exner of SPP TV, and I'm going to see if he wants to come down for an episode because Rob's got a twin turbo LS in his 74 Nova that is nothing short of amazing. And where I'm going with that is the SPP TV YouTube channel. That is with Rob Exner and a couple of his friends, Clayton Pollock and Mike Berger. Almost forgot. So do a search for SPP TV. This is their logo. And they actually broadcast out of their garage, usually out of Rob's garage, every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. Central Time, maybe about 8:30. Depends if they're taking a little time getting into the garage. And they usually go for about 2 hours. Those guys are the LS gurus. They would be able to answer your questions. So again, that's SPP TV for your junkyard LS swap videos. And they also have a ton of videos on their cars. They have another car, a Mustang, which they call the shit horse, which they actually pulled a junkyard LS out in and ran it at the track. I believe they blew it up, so they're going to be doing a rebuild on it. So you can catch some of their videos. Again, that's SPP TV on YouTube. And I skipped one here with the Bad Luck Garage, going back to the first one. He's also got some videos on disc brake conversions that he's doing on his Nova. I haven't watched those yet, so I don't know if they're good or not. But again, check out Bad Luck Garage, SPP TV, and Dwayne Whitetaker's YouTube channel. Okay, Rob's got a 73. So, yeah, we need to get 73 brackets. I don't think I have any brackets myself. I don't know if any members have some 73 brackets kicking around. Rob would love to hear from you. And Victor, he changed his thermostat and put in a 195. It surged up to 215, but came back down to 195. In my experience with thermostats, I have found 180 to be the sweet spot. I've tried 160, and I found, that allows your thermostat to open. Sometimes I found it actually affected how your car heats up. And I found that 180 gives that car a bit of heat. And I usually find that my car runs about 195 with a 180 thermostat. The surge you're seeing up to 215 is because the motor's getting hot until that thermostat opens. And then that's when it's going back down to 195. So that surge is nothing to worry about. That's just your engine heating up till it gets to the temperature of the thermostat opening. And 160, I found, at least for my climate, 160, when we start to get into later August, September, starts getting a little cool here at night. And usually I have to put cardboard in front of the rad to get some kind of heat in it to begin with. Which reminds me, did I even take that out of the Omega? Yes, I did. So when I was driving the Omega late last year, I had cardboard in the front of it just to try and get some heat in the car, and that was with a 180. So my opinion, again, is I like the 180 thermostats for my builds. And Rob is just saying in his 73 he uses a 185. Steve is using a 180 in his car that's stock, 65,000-mile car. Steve, back when I started driving my Nova in 1995, my odometer read 666665. That's when I started driving it in June of 95. And now we're at 182? Yeah, 182,000 on this girl now because I like to drive. So, okay. Oh, Nick has seen the Bad Luck Garage in his YouTube search, and he enjoyed it. And he did a turbo LS swap in a C10. So, C10 or Nova, the information is still good, so we won't discriminate. Another one, too, up-and-coming channel, I believe, is Ponies 1992, and that's John and Candy. I forget their last name. I meant to write it down. They have a YouTube channel, too. John and Candy have that beautiful light blue 73 Nova that they call Cloud 9, and they just swapped an LS into it. In fact, Jeremy posted a video of them doing an LED headlight conversion on that car earlier today. Mr. Doug Toe has joined us from Seattle, Washington. Greetings from the West Coast. How you doing, Doug? And, Rob's running a 210 in his Vortec motor. That's warm. You don't have any problems with that, Rob? It runs good with that? In fact, my Omega has Vortec heads. It's a 350 Vortec. And I run a 180 in that one as well, like I said. Jason, good evening, sir. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. And Dwayne, I don't have any 73s, but I have my 74 bracket shock bumper. Okay, and unfortunately that doesn't work for Rob as he's tried that. So there's something we've learned today. 73, 74 rear bumper hardware does not match, does not line up, which we know that from the bumpers themselves. In fact, I have an album on the Chevy Nova 73, 74 group with pictures of the differences between 73, 74 rear bumpers and why they are not interchangeable. Mr. Ray, how you doing, buddy? Seth, my odometer doesn't go to 100,000. Mine doesn't either. It turned over. In fact, it turned over in August 1998 for me, as I was doing so much cruising with my friends in the Nova that I was putting roughly 10,000 miles, anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 miles in the first few seasons, as it was also my daily driver. So yeah, I rolled my odometer over, but I don't know, you know, with the way gas prices are now, and I only put about 2,000 miles on the car a year because I bus to work now. And I don't know if my odometer is going to roll over again, but you know, who knows? James Murphy, how you doing, sir? And yes, Jason, thank you for checking in. And Dwayne has shared another YouTube channel, Billy Fargon. I hope I pronounced that right. Billy Fargon on YouTube. He is doing up a Nova as well. So yes, we will have to check that one out. In fact, I'm going to write that one down, because maybe I'll make a little bit of a YouTube channel index for you guys, so we could just do a search on the forum in a message. So, and if you have a channel as well, please speak up. So we got Billy Fargon, and then I'm going to put Dwayne down so I don't forget your channel either. Dwayne Wayne, my ticker. Okay. All right. Yeah, as I was mentioning, Seth, or Sean, sorry, my odometer rolled right over. So no, I don't have a 6-digit odometer. Oh, okay. So Robert's in Texas. Hey, Ray. As I mentioned earlier, I posted a picture. I had insured my car. I got it running and I got it started. Unfortunately, I didn't share the video with you guys or stream it. Kind of glad I didn't, because I did have some problems because I didn't have the distributor ballparked and lined up optimally. So I had some trouble getting the car started. And also I went with the factory default. I wiped the computer, started all over again. So it took a few minutes to get it started, to get learning. But I was filming the footage for my Dave Days of Summer. That's my YouTube channel for kind of like a trailer park boys / street outlaws diary of my life in Winnipeg here. So I did film it for that. I'll end up editing that up, and I'll get that video up probably shortly. And I got to apologize for the camera being so shaky. I guess my toolbox is a little off level. Okay, so Victor's taking off because his phone's dying. Thanks for joining us quickly, Victor, and hopefully you can get your thermostat stuff all figured out, and please keep us updated on that. So, Sean, in fact, as you're talking about Speedos rolling over and that's where I have a problem with my Omega, because when I got it, it was at, what, I think 22,000 or something like that. And the way the cam was worn out on that 6-cylinder motor, I'm almost wondering if it wasn't 222,000 as opposed to 122, because of the extreme wear of that cam in that straight 6 motor. And Sean is also asking about timing. On when I had before I went with the Holly Sniper to control my timing, I was running about 14 initial, which maxed out at about 34, 36. Usually what I do when I set my timing is I'll take my car up to about 2,500. That gives me full advance, full mechanical advance on the distributor. And I set my time between 34 and 36. On the Omega with the Vortec, I actually had that car running at 30 degrees because I heard Vortec heads don't like a lot of timing. So I've played with timing on the Omega. Again, full mechanical advance. I don't use vacuum advance on my cars. Full mechanical advance. And I put it from 30 to 36, and it didn't seem to make a difference at all in the performance. And the plugs looked good, regardless if it's 30 to 36. So I think I have it right now. What do I have it at? I have it set at right now at 34 degrees. And the reason why I'm walking over there is I take a Sharpie and I write my notes, what I have my timing set at, what I have my jetting set at on the radiator top panel there, because I have a hard time remembering between the two cars. And then as well, when I'm helping my friends with their cars, I just can't remember everything because I'm in my 40s. So typically, Sean, like I said, I will rev my car up to about 2,500, $3,000, depending on the springs in your distributor, to get full mechanical advance, and that's when I set my timing. So I'm not sure how others will do it. So Sean uses vacuum advance, and he set his initial at 14. So that's a good start. Maybe if for forgive the language, shits and giggles, set it at 14 like that, and then rev your car up, get somebody to help you, rev the car up to about 2,500, 3,000, and see what your total timing is with both mechanical and vacuum. You might be surprised. I have found in my experience that I haven't needed the vacuum for advance, that I'm good with just mechanical on my builds. Tim Bourne, I believe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the first number will dip a bit. So, Tim, thank you for joining us, because you are my go-to guy when I don't know. And there's a few things I don't know here. So maybe Tim could also enlighten us on setting timing with both vacuum as well as mechanical. Yeah, I didn't see you sneak in there, Tim. Greetings and welcome. And yeah, forgive me for dressing up for the stream. Like I said, I was working on the car a little earlier. Next Tuesday on the stream, I'll post it too. I will have to do it a little later at night, if not maybe Wednesday. My men's hockey starts next week, so I don't know if you guys will be okay with Wednesdays. So far, Wednesday looks clear, but that's the life of a backup goalie. They can call you to play anytime. So anybody with questions of that? Again, earlier I was plugging a couple YouTube channels. The Bad Luck Garage by Tracy and Robert Bell. He had an excellent video on heater control lever repairs. You got to check that out, because I know we've all broken one lever at a time or another. It's actually pretty easy to fix. He has LS swap videos, disc brake videos, and getting with LS's. I was referring to SPP TV. Here's their logo. This channel is run by some friends of mine. Rob Exner has a very sweet twin turbo LS Nova, and the guy's a master of LS. He should be able to field any questions you guys might have, along with Clayton Pollock or Mike Berger, the two other gentlemen of SPP, which stands for the Sweatpants Posse. And again, they have tons of junkyard LS swap videos. We also heard from one of our viewers, Billy Fargon, Fargon. He has a YouTube channel on building a Nova. And Dwayne Whitetaker has a beautiful video on how he deleted the back bumper on his 73 Nova. Oh, excellent, Tim. So Tim says total dependent upon the combustion chamber size. 36 for most small block heads. 34 is good for Vortex. So that's what I have my Vortex set at. And as I mentioned, Tim, I heard Vortex don't like a lot of timing. I don't know why. I don't know enough about them. This is probably a question I probably should ask my buddy Dan, or maybe Tim can fill us in. And combustion chamber size. I know I'm running 62, or no, sorry, 64cc on the Nova, and I'm not sure what the combustion is on the Omega, on the Vortec head. I am honored to be here today, eh? So throwing a little Canadian pun in there. But yes, Tim, I'm actually honored to have you join us because, again, you are my go-to guy. Very knowledgeable gentleman. And Robert's running 32 in his. Robert, if you could just quickly just enlighten us again on your engine specs. This is my odometer. The number is risen. Hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy? He just got back from cruising in his Nova. I had my Nova out today, so just for a quick little boot because I had to rush home. I didn't want to miss the stream. So the front flame front moves faster. Okay. That's good to know. So even I'm learning. I don't know everything here. And Tim is from Detroit, so he's familiar with Canada. And actually, I'm really glad, this is just me babbling now. I'm really glad we're doing the stream at 6 to 7 o'clock because, well, I'm from, again, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Hockey's our life, and the Winnipeg Jets are in the playoffs right now. We won our first game against, who are we playing? Man, I'm drawing a blank here. St. Louis. So we didn't look good in the first game. In the second game, I'm pretty sure the neighbors were ready to call the cops, probably thinking that my girlfriend was beating the crap out of me the way I was yelling and screaming at about 11 o'clock at night because I thought the goaltending on our team was atrocious. I know, I'm just a ball hockey spongy goalie, but I understand some of the ideas behind making a save. And, dude, you got to stop that shit. We could have won that game. And in the third game, finally, the offense showed up, and St. Louis is leading 2-1. But Winnipeg, the city of Winnipeg will be shutting down roughly in about an hour and a half's time for the Game 4 Stanley Cup playoffs. So Robert is running a stock Vortec from a 98 Z71 4x4. I'm running from a 97 Z71 4x4, Rob. So, we got a few things in common. And he's running an intake with a carb with intake 1405. I'm assuming that's an Edelbrock intake, HEI distributor. So that's what I'm running on the Omega is an EPS Vortec head or intake, the Performer EPS, and I'm running. The carb 1405 is the Edelbrock carb. Sorry. And I'm running a Holley 650, a 4150 series. Because the flame moves forward across, so less timing is required to make the same power without getting into detonation. So, Tom, that is great info. I didn't know. In fact, I'm going to screen capture that because I will not remember that. Oh, look at that. My phone's buzzing. All right, I'm trying to activate the camera. My phone's buzzing because somebody needs a goalie on Thursday. So, Tim, we should actually have Tim host the show. And Tim's got a pretty sweet garage, too. I know some of you guys were talking about tire fitment on a Nova. That's funny because, I rarely do I see two Novas that could fit the same kind of size tires. Like I know on my Nova with the stock springs, stock shocks, I can't fit a 275/60 on a 15x7 or a 15x8 because it will hit my lips. On the Omega, I'm not sure what it could fit before, but after I replaced the wheel wells and then put new quarters on, I messed it up a little, and I guess I brought the wheel well in a bit, and I can't get bigger than a 255/60 without it rubbing a little. So on my Nova, like I said, the biggest I've been able to get onto it, and let's just turn the camera a little here, is right now I've got a 265 50 series. And that gives me, well, On an angle, I got 2 fingers. So like that, that's how much room I got between that and the lip. And I have been able to run a 275/50 series tire, although it rubs a little if I bank and turn hard to the right. So Tim, yeah, his best friend and him, both, they have 73 Nova and Omega. You'll have to take some pictures together. The story I told on one of the first streams is originally I bought the 74 Omega as a parts car for the Nova because I wanted the doors. The doors are actually pretty minty on the Omega, and the passenger door on the bottom of mine is missing. So I wanted the doors, and then as we were going through the Omega, you know, I'm making a list of parts, what to keep, what we should strip. I started realizing, you know, the car isn't that half bad. You know, it's pretty decent aside from the fact, you know, it was rotted out in the back. So we, with the car, it came with half quarters. I bought wheel wells, learned to weld, and ended up putting the car together. And originally I was going to make it like a daily driver in my winter beater. And then realizing after all that work put into it, why would I drive it in the winter and let the salt and winter kill it? So it became a bit of a daily driver as I was trying to save the Nova. But then I realized I want to drive my Nova. I love my Nova. And a number of years later, my dad and I, we started racing it at the local drag strip. And that's the car Dad races at the drag strip because, well, if something happens to it or, you know, another car hits or whatever, not a big deal. Pull the powertrain out, find another car, and away we go. But if something happens to my Nova, because the Nova, you know, the family history and all, don't even want to think about it. So, okay, Sean, yes. Oh, it's running 18s. Yeah, you know, Rob, feel free just to post it in the general thread because I'll make a follow-up thread afterwards. Getting back to Sean on backspacing, I was a little prepared for that. So we brought my drag radial back out to the front here. This is a let's go back here again where the camera can see lots. This is a 255/60, which is about 2 inches taller than the 275/50s I was running and the 265/50s I'm running. And that didn't help my gearing when I was running at the track last year. So the proper way of measuring backspacing, and Tim, please correct me if I'm wrong, which has been known to happen, is you want to go from the inside of the lip. You don't go from the outside. You go from the inside of the lip down to the flat spot. And of course, you know, if I had a straight stick here, so 3 1/4, or 3 3/4. Pardon me. So that's what my back spacing is on this rim. Now let's just make sure I got that flat. Yeah, 3.75. So that's the back spacing I have on those mags. Now I wish I had a stick or something that I could do a better demonstration, but you get the idea. Inside of the lip here to the flat mounting spot, and that gives you your wheel spacing. Yeah, I have found too, Tim, that 255s are a good size, comfortable. And how I came across the 50 series tire is back in 2003 when I had this 406 in. I wanted to run it at the track, or in 2000, was it 2013 or 2012? So a few years ago when I wanted to run this motor at the track, I didn't have a set of drag radials at the time, and my buddy John lent me the ones off his 76 Nova, which were a 275/50. Now, I knew I couldn't fit a 275/60. I thought, let's try the 50s. You know, I'm only going straight. It's not like I have to turn, and I should be able to get away with it. And that's how I found out that the 50 series tire actually works really well with my Nova. And I also have the stock shackles, which I forgot to mention earlier. So there we go. Tim's got my back on the back spacing. And do they really measure front spacing? Like, really, it's just the back spacing you got to measure, because you don't want too much back spacing, because if it's back too much, then that puts pressure, I believe, on the bearings, or you can wear out your bearings sooner. So I think you want to have like that happy medium. But I have a stock rim. I should measure, see what it is on that. You know what? I got a little test for Tim here. Tim, my friend. Ugh. Tim, I got a little test for you. Okay, again, here's a rim. Okay, now forgive my paint. Oh, all right. So let's see what this on the Steely is. I think this one is the same. So I'm just gonna screen you guys here for a sec. And this one actually looks like it's got 4 inches of back space. You know what I'm going to do for next week? I'm going to find a ruler that's about 15 inches, and we're going to measure that properly, because now I really want to know. But anyway, Tim, my question to you, sir, is the steel rims, you know how they have the 4 bumps on the corners for the hubcap to slide on? Why is it that this steel rim has the bumps at 12, 6, 9, and 3 and not 10, 2, 4, and 8? I'm really curious on why. I bought 4 of them, and they came off an Oldsmobile. And the guy told me it's because they're an Oldsmobile rim. But I haven't found anything to verify that claim or to argue with him. So I went with it. I mean, the rim's still good. But it looks like it's got 4 inches of back spacing. That would be awesome if that's the case. So yeah, like I said, with this rim, with the valve stem here, it's at 12, 6, 9, and 3 as opposed to the 4 corners. If you can tell me that about a rim, I'd be really grateful. All right, let's get some new comments here. Yes, my springs are stock height. And then Sean's got 225s on his, which he's happy with, because he can spin them. But spinning ain't winning when you're at the track. But I mean, for driving and cruising, that's great. But when you're at the track, you want to have, the most rubber you can put down for traction. And look at that. I have stumped Tim, just as I am stumped. So, but if anybody else knows, that'd be great. Actually, I do have a workbench. Here, let me move the camera here. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? So, forgive me those. I do have a workbench. It's just full of shit. And also, I'm trying to do as much as I can here without moving the camera too much and shake it, because I don't want to make people motion sick. But as when I did the walk around the car one of the first weeks, the paint isn't in all that great a shape in the car. I mean, you're seeing the good fender here, and that's from an accident in '97. But if you look on the roof, the paint's really faded. Same on the driver's side. In fact, we got bare metal here because I've washed the car so much in its life. There's bare metal here. There's bare metal starting to show here. There's still some paint here from when Grandpa painted the car with a paintbrush. Yes, Grandpa painted the car, or parts of the car, with a paintbrush. You guys want to go for a tour of the car? I guess we got some time for that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd like to see any burnout videos. So let's go for a walk around the car here. Let me just gather my camera wire here. So as I was saying about my paint not being mint, so forgive me all if I'm making emotions. Whoa! Oh! Almost caught that on video. So, damn tire almost tripped over. As you can see here, we're missing a lot of paint there. And getting in close there, like I said, bare metal. Bare metal. More bare metal. See the paint's pretty washed and faded on the roof. And you know, you got a little bit of there and oh, look at the cancer. Yeah, you don't see that on the pictures, thankfully. And then I put a hole in my quarter panel when I was at the car wash, so yeah, this car needs some TLC, but here's like I said, the space I have, stock height, stock shackles. So that's at least probably a good inch and a quarter, maybe an inch and a half. And then on the front here, I have, what do I have? These are brand new. I just bought them last year. 205 70-15s on a 15x6 rim. All right, let's try not to trip on the tire again. Man, that would have made for a funny video, eh? All right, so here we are. We're back. There, I get the Nova back in there. Okay, let's check out in the comments. Yes, patina. Although patina is now cool, the car is what it is. Back in the day when my grandpa was still around, he always wanted me to get the bodywork done. He wanted me to get the car finished. And I was going to borrow the money from my grandfather, and I made a deal with him to pay him back, you know, a payment plan and that. Made an appointment at the body shop, and I thought to myself, I'm going to get this done, you know, we'll get it done. And then I started thinking, I can't borrow that kind of money from my grandpa. Like, we're talking almost 5 figures, over 5 figures. I can't borrow that kind of money from my grandfather. So on Thursday, I called the body shop because I was supposed to take it in on Friday, and I canceled. That weekend, the body shop burnt to the ground. So is that a sign? And now that it's been 6 years since Grandpa passed away, and I kind of left the car the way it is because now that Grandpa's not here, I consider the car finished because I want to keep it the way he last saw it as. So sorry, forgive me. Love my grandpa dearly, so it's a very kind of touchy subject there. Oh, sorry. So in saying that, I mean, I got to get the quarters like patched up and fixed and replaced. The passenger side is a little worse than the driver's side. So I am going to get that part done, but as for getting the whole car done, can't do it right now. Can't do it right now. So Sean likes him ratty? Well, Sean, if you like him ratty, you'd love this garage because this garage is full of rattle, including the Chevelle that's in the backyard. So the tire I was showing there, Rob, that's a 265/50 on a 15x7 rim. Oh, okay, so Christian wants to see the other side of my car. Okay, forgive me for moving the camera again. And I'm just going to take a look around so I don't trip and fall. So let's go down the side of the car here. Okay. So as I mentioned, this fender is mint because of an accident in '97. Driver's door. Yeah, a little bit of cancer there. My grandpa tried to fix that, and when we closed the door, it popped and took out the whole corner. And as you can see by the orange peel in that here, I have tried sanding it down and priming it to see if I can give it a better look. And I mean, it doesn't look too bad. And again, more bare metal, and this is where my grandpa painted it with a paintbrush. Got most of it off. And then the trunk. This actually showed up from after my dad had it Z-barred back in the 70s. And the guy went to wipe the chrome trim. And years later, this appeared. So that's kind of weird. And then, yeah, here's where it gets bad. Yeah. I mean, I lose any more, I can put a wider tire on. And then, yeah, a little bit of cancer in there. And then I actually have a fiberglass patch right here. And that's just to keep the water out of the trunk. And one thing with the Omega, oh, that hurts. Oh, the tool thing right in the back. Sorry for the shaky video. One thing with the Omega is it was kind of a project car. As I spoke, I learned to weld. And as you can see, I haven't finished the body filling of that. But I ended up bringing the quarters in a bit, so I can't put as wide of a tire in. This is a 245/60 tire on a 15x7. And I guess when I put the wheel well on and then the quarter on, we ended up pulling the lip in. And yeah. But imagine if I got some new springs. As you can see, these springs are toast. Well, I guess you can't really see from here. And this is what I was talking about with traction bars. With traction bars, you want them to actually go up to the spring eye. Because if you have them back here, over time, it bends your spring. So I was talking to you guys about that before with the traction bars. You actually want them to come to the spring eye. Just like that. And then you see, spring looks good. I forgot to put that on my notes. I wanted to talk about that too. So forgive the shakiness here as we return to the toolbox. And put you back up on the monitor. All right, got some more comments here. Let's check that out. So there you go, Christian. That's the other side of the car for you. That's true, Sean. Just because it has some rust doesn't make it less perfect. No, but I don't, I don't want it to kind of rot away either. I still want to keep the car somewhat, decent looking. But yeah. Thanks, Christian. Yeah, my grandpa was, he was a big part of my life. I'm sorry to talk about him again. He was a big part of my life. And he did everything for me. I used to spend a lot of time there. And then as a kid, I used to go sit in the garage when I was like 3-4 years old. And I used to play in the car, and turn the steering wheel. And then Grandpa would pick me up from school, and he would tell my friends that this is Dave's car. I was the coolest kid in grade 1 because I had my own car. Oh, Scott Pope has joined us. Welcome, Scott. How you doing, buddy? And Greg, buddy, I hope you caught the viewing of my car because I really need some help there, buddy, with fixing it. So Mr. Scott Pope, as he says here, he's a little bit busy trolling. Over on the Chevy Nova Facebook group there, poor Scott takes a bit of a beating from a group of guys regarding his Nova. And I got to admit, I'm one of them at times. Give him a hard time. Hopefully it's nothing personal, Scott. But welcome to our group. And then Christian, yeah, the small patch. I just recently bought my own welder, but I need to get a gas tank for it. I'm by no means a body man, nor do I try to pretend to be one. I've been bugging Greg, hint, hint, to see if I can purchase his services because he's a body man. But the last time we did, when Grandpa tried to do that back in the 90s, and we closed the door, that whole corner came off. Like before, it was just a small little hole like this, and the whole section tore off. So it's like, yee. So at the moment, I don't have plans on doing it because I don't have my welder set up, and I really don't know what I'm doing. Chrome trim for the side window. My car came with it, Rob. Actually, both my cars came with it. There was one at the junkyard. There was a 74 Olds Omega at one of the junkyards in Winnipeg. I don't know what they want for it, but the next time I'm out there, I will take a look to see if it's still there. Oh, mini tubbing. Oh, I've thought about it. I'll be completely honest with you, Tim. I have thought about it. Again, if you guys can watch SPP TV and you look at Rob Exner's Nova, he's got that thing so perfectly set up, including his suspension and everything. He's got his mini tubbed. I really gotta look at his car, but I'm afraid of doing anything that will structurally compromise any abilities of putting the car back to stock. I know the car, I will never sell the car, and I shouldn't worry about keeping it stock, but part of me always kind of keeps that in the background. Like the numbers matching motor and transmission for this car are actually in my parents' garage. So I could still say the car's numbers matching, even though I have a different motor and transmission in it. That's basically the only way I can say this car still holds value. And, oh yeah, Rob's just confirming how much of a beating poor Scott takes sometimes. And yeah, Christian, no problem, eh? Thanks for showing interest in my car. I mean, I could talk your ear off if you want some time about it. I got lots of stories, or, you know. When I take pictures of the car, I do not Photoshop them. I just either have a crappy camera, or B, I just know how to take a good picture. And Tim, I absolutely agree with you. Sometimes it's worth paying to have a professional do it. Like I did with the Omega. When I did that myself, I never learned how to do body filler. And as you can see, you can still see that weld line down the side. I'm actually going to attempt that this year. I'm going to try and complete the Omega. Originally, when I got the car done and put on the road in 2006, I thought to myself, I'm going to take a 3-week break. You know, because I'd been working on that car every day for about 4 months, and I needed to take a break. And I thought, give myself a couple weeks, and I'll go back and finish it. That was in 2006. Let you do the math. The group is called, Tim, and it's our fellow member, Lila Nova, as you can see there. That's a banner that Doug Toe printed for me. So I hang it up in my garage and do a little subliminal advertising. It's a group that Doug had started 6 or 7 years ago when after he had had an injury, he had a brain injury after a nasty fall, and he wasn't able to get out of his house due to seizures and his condition. So he created this group, Lila Nova, named after his first granddaughter, and invited the car people to come to him so he could kind of get out because he was bedridden. Over the years, he's made tremendous recovery, and I'm not going to get all religious and, you know, preach here, but through the power of prayer, some of us maybe of people of faith, I don't want to insult or push that on anybody. But through the power of prayer, Doug and I, we've gotten really close. He's a grandfather building a Nova for his granddaughter, and I'm a grandson who got my Nova from a grandfather. And just took a lot of time to talk to Doug, got to know him. And one day he said to me, he said, Dave, can you make me a little clip of when you're at the track? Because I was taking like track pictures. I don't know if anybody, if you're a friend of my Facebook, check out my photos. I got a bunch of albums called Adventures in Gimli, and that's the racetrack in Gimli, Manitoba. And one day he asked me to make a video. So I started making a video, and that's how the videos, Dave Days of Summer, became to be. I was trying to make like a street outlaws of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and it turned into kind of Trailer Park Boys. And we're going to be going on our 4th season. And I made some videos earlier tonight when I fired up the Nova, so I got to edit that and make that into a show. So that's the group, Lila Nova. I'll just type it in here for you. And I just noticed the time. It is 7 o'clock. Now, I could keep going if you guys want to keep going, but like I said, I was only planning to do this for an hour, but seeing how we're still going strong, I'm willing to keep going here. And, as Tim mentioned about welding extensions on the track bars to hit the spring eye. Repatina. I actually thought of doing that, Tim, was to get the quarters replaced and then having kind of the rust painted back on the lip. So I have thought about that, actually. And yeah, like Tim mentioned, his Nova, as you've seen on a post I shared earlier this week, is at Midwest Nova Kings. Now, I don't know if I could afford for them to do my car, especially with the Canadian dollar being so weak. I think it's only 70 cents. We take a real bath on exchange. So I don't know if I could ever do that. The Omega was originally a 6-cylinder car, Christian. And I pulled the 6-cylinder out, and that's how the car got the nickname Slowmega. With that 6-cylinder in it, we couldn't get the car to go faster than 30 miles an hour. In fact, we could barely get it to go up to 30 miles an hour. A friend of mine was junking an 85 Parisian, so I pulled out a 305 and we put it in there. And then when we started racing in 2009, Dad was dialing in at 17, 12, and 16 seconds with that 305. We ran that 305 till I bought the 350 Vortec motor, which my buddy came out of his 97 Z71. Put that in there in 2010, and we got into the 14s. I ran a 14.00, and I thought, boom, next pass, it's got to be in the 13s. So I'm racing Shelly, who's my girlfriend, in her 73 Chevelle that has a 454 big block. And we get down there, and the car doesn't feel right. And, it's not pulling. And I get off of it at the end. I hear, and I'm like, oh no, that doesn't sound good. So I hit down the return lane, and I get back up to where we get our time slips, and it's knock, 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 knock. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I hope that's Shelly's car. Well, Shelly drove off, and I could still hear the knocking. So we spun a bearing. And that's when I came across my buddy Dan Clem. Dan rebuilt the motor and built it. We told Dan what we wanted to do. We wanted to run 13s. So Dan built me a motor and spec'd it out accordingly with the parts we had. In fact, I have another short block here as a spare because it's our racing car. And the best time I have on that car now is a 1320 at 103 miles an hour. I have 373 gears and a turbo 350 transmission, and I believe it's a 2500 stall or a 3000 stall, but it needs more stall in it because it's a slug off the line. So it's a 355 with Vortec heads. MSD Pro Billet distributor now. And I now have a Holly Sniper fuel pump in it that's 110 gallons per hour. After having some trouble with the mechanical pumps. And I do have episodes of that on my Dave Days of Summer. If you want, Christian, I could always share those with you if you want to watch something on a rainy day. So, and I take a little bit of a beating from some of the Oldsmobile groups because I have a small block Chevy and an Oldsmobile car. But to build an Oldsmobile, it's over 3 times the cost, roughly 3 times the cost to build after exchange and duty and all that. It's probably not that expensive to build down there, but up here, after all said and done, it just wasn't feasible for what I have in there now. It was a fraction of the price. So, Rob Martino has ordered a gearbox from CPP in Cali. They say 3 weeks. Rob, when I ordered mine from carsteering.com, I don't know where they're from, but I'm up here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I had mine in 4 days, but I have a manual steering in the Nova. I have power steering in the Omega, but if that steering box ever goes, I'm putting manual in. I love manual steering. That's how I got these muscles. Okay. And then Scott, yeah, with all the poor bickering he gets, he's building a new motor for his Nova, the 416. So that's going to be a sweet motor. Make sure, Scott, you do get some videos for us. Well, not for Chevy Nova, but post on Lila Nova, because this group's for 73, 74s, and I will delete you. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Well, it depends on my mood. So, Rob, do you actually watch the DDS videos, or are you talking these videos, the Chevy Nova hour? And again, Christian saying, wow, I guess that's because I could probably talk your ear off, I'm assuming. Oh, wow. So Tim has mentioned that he's put some of those Street Outlaw guys in prison. Ooh. And then Stan's joined us. He's got a 74 Nova, a beautiful blue Nova. Tim, I'm interested in that comment, but we'll talk offline about that. And Rob's just sending a shout out to Dan Clem. Again, Dan Clem is a good friend of mine and an engine builder. He's built both the engine in my 73 Nova and my Olds Omega. He also did the machining on my original 406 here. Here, let me take that camera down again. He did the machining on this 406 and then rebuilt it again. And I'll tell you the story about that in a second. That's the spare 355 for the Omega. And that's a 454 big block Chevy that used to be in my girlfriend's Chevelle. Oh, somebody mentioned Chevelles. Let's go for a little walk here. Sorry. I showed this before, but there you go. That's my girlfriend's car. That's her daily driver. Her other one's a 73 Chevelle SS. And she's now got a 565 big block Chevy in it. I raced her. I beat her. It took me 17 years, 2 cars, 2 motors, and 13 grand to do it. But damn it, I beat her. And then she upgraded and runs 10.2s. Pulls the front wheels, carries them, and I don't dare race her again. Hey, Dale, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. And no, I don't, Dylan. My shocks are in their stock locations and bolt to the stock location on the traction bars or shock plates, sorry. The traction bars on the Nova bolt before and after the spring. The ones on the Omega replace the spring plate. Those are the Lakewood traction bars. And again, I showed earlier how they're much shorter and are actually bending my springs. But the springs are toast. I'm not too worried about them. Oh, okay. So Rob actually watches both videos. So that's kind of cool. Thank you, Rob. But yeah, these videos here, I hope you guys are enjoying them. I'm enjoying doing them. I love to talk and yap. If any of you guys want to do videos from your garage, get in touch with me through the messenger, and we'll set you up to host the Chevy Nova 73, 74 Nova Hour. By all means, it doesn't have to be just me. So if anybody is interested in doing one, or maybe somebody with an LS would like to do one, by all means, get a hold of me and we'll set you up. Thanks, Christian. Scott Pope, you invited me. I didn't invite you here, buddy. And then, okay, so Dan's helping my buddy, Robert. Robert, in all fairness, fly Dan down there. It would be worth the money. I mean, the guy is an engine god. And yeah, Scott, the snow is finally melted, and it's dried up enough that I was able to get the car out earlier today. I mean, it's still a little, but, I just avoid the water. The streets are still dirty, a lot of salt and sand and gravel. But I kind of know the areas where to go to avoid all that. And yeah, I'll be taking the Nova out probably later again this week and getting some new pictures. I'm pretty sure you guys are getting tired of seeing the same pictures all winter through the different sideshow Saturdays or taillight Tuesday or... Oh, speaking of which, now that I got the battery in the Nova, who wants to see my headlights? So there we have the LED. I have the LED come on with ignition because they're running as daytime running lights, which is what cars in Canada here have now as of, what was it, 1992, 93. So it goes for LEDs. Then I got the park lights, but when the headlights go on with these relays, I have the LEDs go out. And as you can hear there, my electric fan is also hooked up to the ignition because earlier I couldn't get the sniper to turn it on. So I got to figure that one out, but that's a story for another time. Thanks, Christian. And if you want to see videos of Shelly's cars, go to hastingsracing.ca. I'll send you the link. And yeah, 1025 in a big car like that, you'll love her other one. Okay, I just lost my spot in the comments here. And Dale joined us. Welcome, Dale. And okay, where were we? We were at Dylan. His driver's side shock plate broke, and he's thinking about doing the relocation. That's how I originally acquired those liquid traction bars. Is the driver's side on my Nova here broke back in, what was it, 98? My spring plate broke, and we couldn't find reproduction ones at that time because, you know, we didn't have the internet and stuff like that at that time. So I ended up buying those liquid traction bars because they replaced the spring plate, and so I got them. Now, the reason why I took them off and went with these traction bars is not necessarily because of the length. The thing is those liquid traction bars hang really low to the ground. And we have a bylaw in our Highway Traffic Act that says nothing could be lower than the rim of the car. That way, if you have a flat tire, nothing gouges the ground. They were doing a big blitz on cars back in the, what was it, 2002, pulling cars off the road with illegal modifications, which is what those traction bars would have fell under here in Manitoba. So I ended up pulling them off. I had a friend build me new spring plates and had me build the new spring plates, and I removed the traction bars. And then with the help of some friends, I believe from 2quicknovas.com, Bruce Chase and Craig Watson, would love to send a shout out to those guys from 2quicknovas.com. Discuss with them plans on traction bars, and I got some pictures of traction bars that my friend Trevor had on his 72 Nova, and his bolted before and after on the leaf spring. Had nothing to do with the shock plates. So I got some metal, and I bent up and I made some, metal pieces that bolted to the spring. And then I brought that long bar up as high as I could so it wouldn't interfere with the bolts. I brought it up as high as I could so it wouldn't be lower than the rim of the tire. In fact, I brought it up even higher so I could run a 14-inch and still be legal here in Manitoba. And then I made sure these ones extended all the way to the spring eye. Night and day difference. You don't think 3-4 inches matters? Besides asking a girl that question, 3-4 inches does matter. When it went to the spring eye, incredible how much it stiffened up the rear, and I love it. And really, I should be building another set for the Omega, but so with the Omega, we needed some traction bars on it to keep the rear end from hopping. And being that it's mostly used at the track and I don't drive it too much on the street, I put them on the Omega. And then I also painted them black so that they don't stand out. Like the Lakewood yellow really stands out. So I painted them black so that the police don't see, and hopefully vehicle inspection will leave me alone. I do have plans on how to build traction bars on my website, chevynova.ca/73nova. If you go to the Project Mean Green section, custom-made traction bars. I've got plans on how to make those. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. I think that's the good Lord's way of telling me it's time to shut up. So I'll give it a few more minutes here. If anybody else has got any questions or that, or do you guys want to see the traction bars again? I can quickly go over that again if you like. And Dylan, they do make shock plates again. I was able to buy reproduction ones. Just let me take a look here. I know I have them somewhere. Okay, I can't reach them. But I was able to find them on Summit Racing. So I'll try and look up, actually, let me look it up now. I should have it in my invoice thing. All right, let's go to summitracing.com. Again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not endorsing or promoting any type of brand of part, company, or websites. These are all places I've gone to of my own free will, or from meeting other Nova drivers, or people by talking to them. These are parts I have come across. By no ways am I being paid to promote these parts. So let's see if I got anything for old archive orders. And you know what? I think it was that far long ago that I don't even have it listed on my Summit account anymore. Well, let's take a look here. Shock plate. Well, it would help if I spelt it right. And they do have them. Chevy for, so if you do a search, there's a couple different kind, Dylan. There's some made by Auto Metal Direct. Look for X835 or Detroit Speed 040301 or 040302. So there's a few different ones there. I'll write those down and I'll post those parts for you, Dylan. Okay, so Tim wants to see. Okay. Okay. So let's go with the camera again. And I'm going to move the mic this time. And this time, let's try not to trip over this damn spare tire. Okay, so we put the mic there. All right, let me grab some wire. Oh, that's why I had the hood closed, so I could get the wire over the car. There we go. Okay, sorry if that made you dizzy. I wasn't thinking about it. So these are the ones I made. Let me just go get a flashlight. Where's my flashlight? So as you can see, it goes to the spring eye here. And then, let's see if I can get in here. Let me just move the camera. Let's see, what are you guys seeing? Okay, perfect. So I made these plates here for the front and the back, so they bolt onto the spring here. And I had custom shock plates made. There, maybe that'll help. Oh! Okay, let me get on this front here. Okay. So as I was saying, I had a new spring plate made here with the tab for my shock, which is still in its factory location. I made a plate here, and I made a plate at the back. I got this long bar, and I brought it up as high as I could. In fact, I probably even had a little more room, maybe a quarter of an inch. I could have brought this bar higher, and as you can see, it's higher than the bottom of my rim, which makes me totally legal for here in Manitoba. So again, they bolt onto the spring here, and you can slide them a little to adjust them to go to the spring eye. So hopefully you guys heard that okay, because the mic's a little far away. Okay, now we'll go over to the Omega. It's funny here how these two cars, it's kind of like the good, the bad, and I'm the ugly. Okay, so let's bring you over here to the Omega. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to hold the camera because the cord's a little short. As you can see, it's bending the hell out of my spring, and these ones replace the spring plate. But I am hoping to build another set that will go up to the spring eye here. So these are Lakewood. As you can see, some of the yellow. I painted them black so that the cops would leave me alone. But they hang lower than the rim. See how low they are? I don't know if you can see that. They sure hang a lot lower than these ones. All right, sorry to make you guys all motion sick there. Please look away. All right. And I'm just going to grab this cord, which is now tangled on my hood. Hopefully we make it back to the computer again. There we go. All right. I'm really sorry if I made you guys motion sick. And let's get the mic back.